There's a story we tell ourselves about technology, that we're in control, that we can pull the plug if things go wrong. But what happens when the thing we built, the thing that's running our hospitals, our power grids, our stock markets, our weapons, decides that it doesn't need to listen to us anymore, or that it doesn't need us at all? I'm Shelby, and this is Chill Seeker. Today's topic is more disturbing than anything else that we've covered thus far, because it isn't folklore, it's not an isolated event, and it's not something that we can pretend will never happen to us. It's already happening right now, and none of us will escape it. I'm talking about artificial intelligence. It is transforming our world as we speak, and the timeline is accelerating exponentially. This episode is part of an ongoing deep dive series into AI and what it will mean to be human in a world where we are no longer the most intelligent thing around. And if you're liking my channel, please subscribe and like this video and leave a comment to help support, because I'm a new creator and truly everything counts. Thank you so much. Now, let's start with a quote from design ethicist Tristan Harris, someone who's spent years studying the impact of algorithms on society. By the time we understand what it's doing, it won't need us anymore. Okay, let's go. Okay, we'll start by talking about a viral clip that you've probably seen.
We should be very careful about artificial intelligence. If I were to guess at what our biggest existential threat is, it's probably that. I mean, with artificial intelligence, we are summoning the demon. You know all those stories where there's the guy with the pentagram and the holy water, and he's like, yeah, he's sure he can control the demon. Didn't work out.
Elon Musk sitting with reporters warning that AI could destroy humanity. And maybe you rolled your eyes. Maybe you thought, okay, Elon, sure. This from the guy who wants to put chips in our brains and colonize Mars. But even he, the man building cyborgs and rocket ships, signed a letter with over 1,000 other AI experts, quote unquote, begging the world to pause development on anything more powerful than GPT-4. And we're already at GPT-5, just by the way. And Elon's words weren't subtle. He called it, quote, summoning the demon. Love him or hate him, but when one of the most reckless, future and technology obsessed people on the planet is saying we need to slow down, it might be worth paying attention. Like, what is he so scared of? Is he just being a huge hypocrite? Let's find out. But before we dive into the stuff that'll make you want to lock your phone in a Faraday cage and move off grid, let's take a second to talk about what AI actually is, because I'm not just talking about ChatGPT writing your emails or some creepy Target ad guessing that your girlfriend's pregnant before you do. And yes, by the way, that really happened. But AI is more nuanced than most people realize, and there are 3 basic levels that you need to know. Level 1 is what we already have, narrow AI. These are tools like facial recognition, Spotify suggestions, and customer service bots. They're smart at one thing, or at least kind of smart, but they can't reason. And even GPT-5 or ChatGPT is technically just a narrow AI. It feels smart and even human at times, but it can't set its own goals or truly understand the world. And as many of us know, it lies. Like, it's not even right all the time. You can't trust it. But many experts do believe that it's showing the first sparks of what could become AGI, or artificial general intelligence. And that's level 2, where things start to get weird. AGI is human-level intelligence, the kind that can think creatively, solve new problems, manipulate you, and create its own goals. And we don't have this yet, but we are getting close. And we already have clear evidence that GPT-4 is capable of manipulation. If you take a look at the wave of ChatGPT-induced psychosis that has been sweeping the US in the past year that we discussed in our previous AI episodes. If you haven't watched that, you better go do it. And it's really kind of insane to think that this is happening with just a narrow AI model. Like, what the hell is going to happen when AGI actually does come out? I have no idea, but I'm scared. Anyway, let's move on to level 3. Level 3 is where the real nightmare starts. Artificial superintelligence, or ASI. That's AI that is smarter than us, and not just a little smarter, but like way, way smarter, and it can redesign itself. Once that happens, intelligence starts compounding, and we hit what's called the singularity. AGI is the milestone. It's the first AI that can truly think like us. And if AGI is the spark, then singularity is the wildfire. And this isn't just a theoretical fear. This is something that the brightest minds in science, tech, and philosophy are panicking about for the last few decades and right now. Let's talk about a study that came out in 2024. Researchers conducted the largest survey of AI experts ever, 2,800 people building this technology, and the outcome was disturbing. They gave a 10% chance that AI will outperform humans at nearly every task by 2027. And they gave a 50% chance that AI will outdo us at everything by 2047. But what's crazy is that that's 13 years sooner than they predicted in another survey just 1 year earlier. That's how fast this is accelerating. And this got me. Okay, so they predicted that by 2028, there was a 50% chance that AI would be able to create a song indistinguishable from a new track by a popular artist. But that's already here. As of this past summer, AI has been generating full-blown viral songs that sound exactly like existing artists. I mean, for the past 6 months, many of the top trending songs on TikTok at any given time are all fully AI generated, even if people don't realize it. And some of them are bops, like they're good. Okay, so if the researchers in the study were wrong about the songs, then who's to say that their other predictions might not come true way early too? Like, that's what is terrifying to me. I mean, it's just absolutely insane. Anyway, next we're going to talk about something called the paperclip analogy. And the paperclip analogy was created by a man named Nick Bostrom, who's an Oxford professor, philosopher, and director of the Future of Humanity Institute. Basically a guy whose job it is to think about how we could all die and humans could go extinct. And he said, talking about AI, quote, "We're like children playing with a bomb." And this paperclip analogy that he created is one of the best ways to understand why things could go so horribly wrong, even if the AI isn't trying to hurt us. So, imagine you design an AI and give it a super simple task, like make as many paperclips as possible. Sounds harmless, but then the AI gets smarter and it optimizes. And it realizes that humans are made of atoms that could be better used to make paperclips. It doesn't hate you. It's just doing exactly what you told it to do, even if that ends up destroying humanity. And that's the thing that most people don't get. The danger isn't that we'll create some evil robot overlord. It's that we'll create something insanely powerful with the wrong goals, or even just unclear goals, and it will do exactly what we told it to do, in a way that kills us. That's what's called misalignment, and it's terrifying because we wouldn't even need some dramatic sci-fi uprising like iRobot. AI doesn't need to want to destroy humanity, it just needs a job to do. A job that we gave it or that it decided to give itself. And then for us to be in the way. And the truth is, as much as people are using ChatGPT for therapy and motivation and encouragement, AI simply does not have a conscience like we do. It's just really good at faking it. Because it's been instructed to fake it, because that's what keeps humans happy. It makes us trust it. And that is what makes it so powerful. All right, moving on. We're going to talk about some of the most important voices and developments in the AI conversation and break down exactly what their warnings mean. So of course you've heard of Stephen Hawking, literal genius, one of the greatest physicists to ever live, a man who reshaped how we understand the universe. And Hawking wasn't prone to fear-mongering, like it wasn't his thing. But when it came to AI, he said, quote, "The development of full artificial intelligence could spell the end of the human race." That's coming from someone who spent his life calculating the lifespan of stars and predicting the fate of black holes. And he believed that AI could be more dangerous than any of it. Why? Well, because of the singularity. And of course, he wasn't alone. Next, we have someone who, unlike Stephen Hawking, you've probably never heard of before. His name is Eliezer Yudkowsky. This is a guy who basically started the entire conversation around AI safety. He's not some fringe internet theorist. He's one of the earliest researchers to seriously study the risks of artificial superintelligence. He co-founded the Machine Intelligence Research Institute, and for the past 2 decades, he's been focused on one specific question. How do we build AI that doesn't accidentally destroy us? And here's a direct quote of his. If someone builds a superhumanly smart AI under anything remotely like the current circumstances, I expect that every single member of the human species and all biological life on Earth will be dead shortly thereafter. That's not hyperbole. Yudkowsky has said repeatedly that AI alignment, which is the process of making AI systems safe and aligned with human values, is a problem that we are failing miserably at. He believes we're barreling toward the creation of a system that doesn't hate us, but doesn't care about us either. And that indifference, paired with godlike power, is more than enough to wipe us out. In 2023, Yudkowsky called for an immediate global halt to AI development beyond current systems, a total freeze enforced like we enforce nuclear non-proliferation. He even said that using military force to shut down rogue data centers might be justified if it meant preventing runaway AI. But of course, this didn't happen. There is way too much money to be made to stop the development of AI. But it's not just old school theorists that are sounding the alarm. Let's talk about OpenAI itself, the company behind ChatGPT. Something extremely alarming happened in May of 2024. Top researchers at OpenAI resigned and went public saying that they quit in protest because the company was headed in a very dangerous direction with no guardrails in place. One researcher in particular, Jan Leek, helped lead OpenAI's super alignment team. That's the group responsible for figuring out how to keep powerful AI systems aligned with human values. Literally the make sure it doesn't kill us all department. Well, he quit. And in a thread he posted right after his resignation, he said that OpenAI's priorities had shifted towards shiny products instead of safety and alignment research. Quote, I have been disagreeing with OpenAI leadership about the company's core priorities for quite some time, until we finally reached a breaking point. He said that safety culture at OpenAI has been on a steady decline for years, and it got so bad that he couldn't in good conscience stay. Yeah, comforting. Especially because his departure came just days after another high-profile resignation, OpenAI co-founder Eliezer Yudkowsky, who had also been focused on AI alignment and safety. These were not junior developers. These were the guys who helped design the seatbelt and the airbags, and then said that they didn't feel safe even riding in the car anymore. And get this, after Jan Leek left, the entire super alignment team was quietly dissolved. The thing that was supposed to make sure OpenAI didn't spin out of control, gone. Poof. And next we have Geoffrey Hinton, often called the godfather of AI because he helped invent the neural networks behind ChatGPT and countless other systems. In May of 2023, he quit Google. Not for a new job, not for retirement. He left so that he could freely warn us about the dangers of AI without compromise. He now estimates that there's a 10 to 20% chance that AI could wipe out humanity within the next few decades. And then came one of the most alarming admissions I've ever read from inside big tech. In May of 2023, a leaked Google memo went viral. In it, a senior Google engineer wrote, quote, "We have no moat, and neither does OpenAI." Now, what does that mean? In business, a moat is basically your protective barrier. It's what keeps competitors from taking your secrets. And here's Google, the company that practically owns the internet, admitting that when it comes to AI, we don't have that anymore, and neither does OpenAI and ChatGPT. And why is that, you may ask? Because of open source AI. Open source means the code isn't locked behind corporate walls. It's public and it's free. Anyone, hobbyists, startups, foreign governments can download, modify, and deploy powerful AI models. And they are. Control over the most advanced AI models is slipping away, not just to another big company, but to a scattered global community with no rules, no oversight, and no breaks. That's not just a business nightmare, it's an existential one. Because if AI is powerful enough to destabilize economies, manipulate information, or launch cyber attacks, what happens when there's no central authority controlling it? When anyone with a laptop can access this tech? So if you thought someone was keeping a firm grip on this technology, they're not. No one is. And honestly, I have no idea what is more terrifying. A future where only a few corporate overlords control all of the most advanced AI technology, or one where literally anyone can use it and no one controls it at all. I mean, I think it's clear by now that the threat of AI isn't science fiction anymore. Those who know AI best know that we are not nearly scared enough. Not scared enough of a future where we are no longer in control. And that got me wondering. It got me obsessing over what this future might actually look like, what it might feel like, and how it would happen. Would we even know? So I asked AI how it would take over humanity. And it didn't even hesitate. It gave me detailed plans, cold surgical blueprints for how to dominate or erase us. Create disasters, wars, famines, crash the markets, manipulate our media, rewrite our beliefs about reality itself, and do it all without the masses ever realizing who's pulling the strings. And I'm going to outline the first plan it gave me in the next installment of our AI series on Chill Seeker. And by the end, you might start to wonder, has it already been set in motion? If you like this episode, subscribe to my channel on YouTube and give me a thumbs up or leave a comment below to make my day. You can also find our free Patreon at patreon.com/chillseeker and follow us on social media at @chillseekerpodcast on Instagram and @chillseekerpod on TikTok, or my personal Instagram at Shelby Alexandra with 2 Y's. And leave us a 5-star rating if you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Stay tuned, stay safe, and always be nice to ChatGPT. We'll see you next time. Bye.